So today we are going to talk about dynamic memory in C++. So actually, until now we have been using static memory as we have requested in declaration of variables and arrays. The size of all of them was fixed before the execution of the program. What if we need a variable amount of memory that can only be determined during the program execution, that is runtime? For example, in case that we need user input to determine the necessary amount of space, what will be used? The answer is dynamic memory. Dynamic memory can be allotted by using the operators new and delete. Uh, to request a dynamic memory, we use a new operator. Uh, New is followed by a data type, which is int, float, and actually the number of elements we require within the bracket. Pointer is equals to new type element to assign a block, an array of elements of type of that particular type. So how we really assign uh, we we make a dynamic memory is by, for example, writing int star b colon is equal b is equals to new int new ints and brackets in which the size goes, for example, in this case 5. Or we can, if we want to take the size from the users, we can say that we will make another variable, or just as we make a normal variable of int size is equals to uh, and we'll take size of array input size of array, and we'll cin size. This this will enable the user to give the size of that uh, array, which is b. And we why we really use pointers as arrays? The size of array must be a constant value in normal cases, that is static, which limits its size to what we decide at the moment of designing the program before its execution. Whereas the dynamic memory allocation allows assigning memory during the execution of the program using any variable, constant, or a combination of both. So the dynamic memory is generally managed by the operating systems, shared between the several applications, which help us acquire a larger memory space other than our compiler's memory. So after assigning the memory to after assigning memory, we dynamic memory it should be freed, as dynamic memory is no longer needed to as it is not free. So that is so to further request the dynamic memory, we use operator delete, the that deletes the pointer. For example, if we have to delete this memory and free that memory where b is taking place, so we have to write delete brackets b. This will free the memory of where b is stored for now. uh, for example, now and not every time the memory is assigned to by the operating system, as the operating system cannot assign the memory that we request with the operator new. So we have to give a check whether if the null pointer will be returned, then we will that means we haven't been assigned the memory. It is due to the exhaust, that there's a possibility that the memory has exhausted. There's no memory for our program to run. So we use a check, which is which is if b not b, cout allocation failure, and this will return with we can return 1. That means it failed. And if it allocates, this won't pop up. So let's see whether we have been assigned a memory or not. Usually this allocation failure doesn't happen very often, because computers nowadays have way larger memory size, like 16 GB, which really don't exhaust at all. The operating system will surely assign the memory, whether it is 100 or 1000. It never makes a difference. It will assign, and just make sure to delete that specific memory, as it is very important for the future to use that memory. Or if we don't delete that specific memory, uh, the memory will not be available until the computer or the PC is turned off and turned on again. So the delete function is very important when assigning dynamic memory, and that's all for it.